Good morning. It is, oh my goodness, I don't even remember what week this tour is. But first, before I show you what we got going on in the garden and what's producing, I'm going to let the guineas out. It's a little later than I normally let them out because it got down to like 4 degrees. And the little babies, I didn't want them to get too cold. So I'm doing it now. Come on, Mama. Where's the babies? Come on. They're getting so big. They're definitely not smart birds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There, they're all out. Go on, little ones. They grow so fast. They're doing a great job getting rid of all of their grasshoppers and doing wonderful. So, really, really grateful to have them. Come on, Hope. What are you doing? We were busy this weekend. We had gotten this shed. We had this little shed that we've been wanting to do for a while as a chicken coop. So we have more room for the guineas and the chickens. And the chickens that we incubated, whatever's left of them is in here. We had a dog get into the chicken tractor, and so we have 3 left, and 2 of them have bad injuries, which we will be culling them, unfortunately. But I have one of our incubated ones that's still doing really well. I've just learned it's a female. She's been doing her buckwheat calls, so I'm really excited to have another female guinea here to integrate in with our other little flock. This guy here has an injury with its leg, and then that little blonde one over there. So I'm really happy with this little coop. We still have to do a door and stuff, and there's a little hatch out the back that they'll be able to go out once we have the pen done. But for right now, this is gonna work for them, and I'm just gonna keep this door open because if they want to go out, they can go out and eat all the grasshoppers they want. In fact, I'm gonna show you why I want these birds to integrate into the garden. And it's because the grasshoppers, where the guineas have been hanging out and snacking, where the Keats have been living with their parents and kind of foraging, we've had no grasshoppers. But can you see, like, there's less grasshoppers now because there's been a lot of guinea activity over here. But look what they're doing to my plants. This is a potato. That is from grasshoppers. And so the more guineas I can get in my garden space, because they love, love, love the the grasshoppers, the more we can eliminate this issue, because they are just like everywhere. I don't know if you can hear that. Grasshoppers just everywhere. So, oh yeah, this is gross. Look at what they're doing to my beans. My bean plants are just getting chewed off. So if it hasn't been hail, if it hasn't been frost, it's been grasshoppers. They've been eating on my corn as well, pretty drastically. So I'm hoping to rip this corn out here soon and kind of shoo the grasshoppers over, or shoo the guinea fowl over here to eliminate that issue. But it's looking beautiful. We had a little bit of frost. The cucumbers got fried a bit. But the corn, this stuff I'm going to be picking today and canning as baby corn for stir fries and for salads or whatever. We use a lot of baby corn just because it's easy to add to stir fries. And yeah, these little cucumbers, They are very interesting. They're supposed to look like an apple, and they will when they're mature. They're kind of like a Granny Smith apple or something like that, but they got frosted, and so I'm not expecting much from them. These guys didn't do too bad. We had a little frost on them the other day, but I've been picking enough for us to eat for dinners. We took a bunch boating with us the other day. They were a nice snack. So, my cucumbers are not a total failure. We're getting lots of peas, and so these are just fresh eating peas, and we've been getting quite a bit actually. I've been able even to have some in the freezer, so that's been great because this is like the second succession of peas. I have a whole row over there that's basically done now, so it's kind of like a little summer bonus, pre-fall bonus, so I'm really excited about that. The sunflowers are basically done, which they got frost, and so it's really strange how some plants were affected by frost. Like my beans, they got frosted. The beans got frosted and the sunflowers got frosted. The corn was okay. Cucumbers got frosted. Peas were okay. Like, it's so, just certain ones are a little bit tougher, I guess. The tomatoes, these are really awesome tomatoes. They're big. I've been doing a lot of canning. Like, I've picked so many tomatoes off of these plants already. And because the plants themselves have died back, I've just been ripening them out here and picking them. And it's been about 25 pounds every second day what I'm taking in, which is, about half of what I had last year. And I have 3 times more plants this year than I did last year, and I got half of what I had last year at this time. So it's definitely a strange year. But the thing with these black tomatoes, these indigo rose tomatoes, they're ripe when they're a little soft and they turn red on the bottom. Someone was asking, because they said, man, these tomatoes are awful. They taste horrible. And it's because it was a green tomato they were eating, and it was like so funny. These guys are producing like mad still. They just started to kick in, which I decided next year I'm not going to be doing indeterminate varieties like these guys, because they're just growing and growing. Like, these guys were like, I don't know if you remember the hail that we had, it just crushed them. Like, they were stems, and so I lost a lot of grow time because of or a lot of tomato production time, because they just started to grow and replenish themselves instead of actually producing and setting fruit. Whereas when the determinate variety, they got stressed out, they just loaded with fruit, and it was just boom. Like, they set their fruit and that was that. And it was just so much production out of them. And these guys I've been harvesting quite a bit off of the indigo rose. They've produced really well this year, actually. I was very surprised. So a bean that I am definitely going to be planting next year. I'm really impressed with its performance, especially up here in a colder climate like where I am. I think this is called the purple peacock bean. Pretty sure this is what it is. Purple peacock. I better find the tag so I'm telling you the right information. But I love these beans. They are not a stringless bean. I've learned if they get too mature, they do have a string, but they are huge. Like, these beans are really, really, really versatile. They don't get a string in them till they're really, really, really mature, but the beans are massive and they're so tender and they're so much fun to cook, especially if you have kids, because they're this really pretty purple color, and when you drop them into water, they magically turn green, and it's such a vibrant green from a vibrant purple, and they're just so much fun. I call them my magic beans, and the kids really enjoy cooking with these and such. So these ones are like so easy to harvest too, because they're easy to see. I found I do a lot of harvesting at night, and it's so easy to find them and see them. And they grow in clumps. So literally, like, I've harvested, like, they would come in handfuls of like really mature beans, like lots of them in clumps like this, and I would just grab them. And I mean, clearly there's some smaller ones, but they were so easy to harvest because they had such a big production. I really love this bean, and it's pretty, right? Like, let's stand back here. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty bean. I love it. I love it so much. So I'm definitely going to be growing those ones next year. I can't remember the name of this other variety. They produced really well too. They're also a purple bean. They're just much smaller. But I really actually prefer this bean way more. But yeah, they're just massive. Pretty beans. Who knew beans could be pretty? Here's a better view of the color. They're just such a pretty bean. I really like them. You should get them. You should plant them. They're awesome. Asters are starting to bloom, which I'm very surprised because asters, they get a disease actually caused from the grasshoppers. And it's called aster yellow, and it can be spread to other plants. And so I got very lucky this year that these asters are planted very close to the guinea house, and the guineas really like to come and eat the grasshoppers over in this area. So these asters didn't get really affected. This one did a little bit, but I think that was more from scorching than anything. There's some pretty purples. There's some under the amaranth, which looks kind of fun. Look at how cute that is. I love this amaranth. It's so pretty. Really gorgeous in floral arrangements. Also, something people didn't know is that it is edible. You can use it as a grain. However, if you are going to use it to feed it to chickens or animals, you do have to cook it because there's a compound in it that is not really good for them, that they can't digest properly. So very much err on caution. I didn't know that it would affect animals, otherwise I wouldn't have planted it near the chickens or the guinea, but they don't eat it. They don't bother it. It's like they know that it's bad for them. So I'm not too concerned. I should have done my research before I planted it here, but now I know for next year. These are calendula. I think they're called Candyman, I think. I'm not sure. They open and close every day. They're just opening today. They were open yesterday. No, they closed up. Now they're just opening because it's still morning. But so pretty. That's a volunteer potato. And I'm really glad to see that my snapdragons are finally starting to head up. So I'll be taking some of those to my florist hopefully very, very soon as cut flowers. So when I planted over 100 pepper plants in this little area here, that were really, really profound at producing a tremendous amount of peppers, I thought that these heavy producers in our cold climate where they were okay for, or cooler climate as long as I started them early enough, I thought I would have a ton of peppers. And as some of you that have been following me for a while know, that we had a hailstorm and 2 hailstorms, which knocked off all of my baby peppers and the blooms. Now, I will show you why I say always, always, always grow Hungarian hot wax pepper, especially if you're in a colder climate. I'm zone 2, and well, 2/3, I guess you would. It's kind of back and forth, but I consider it to be zone 2 because our temperatures reflect that. Look at why I grow these peppers. Just last week, there was nothing. There was some flowers. There was maybe one little start. But look at, they're bouncing back. There's a ton of little peppers on here. And, you know, even if I get 6 or 7 peppers in a week, if I can keep the frost off of them at night, that's a good little harvest. For at least myself, I could do some hot sauce or can, like, you know, if every plant is doing that, I could can some banana pepper rings or do some hot sauce, make some barbecue sauce, all kinds of things. But they are already producing wonderfully. So I will always, always, always grow. Even the jalapenos, these ones are supposed to be really profound producers, especially for, you know, under stress. And they're starting, you know, they're starting to have a little bit of peppers on them, tiny ones, but they take so long to grow. The Hungarian hot wax peppers, they grow like They grow like bad weeds, to be honest, and that's perfect for what I need. My habaneros did get some frost, and look at, there's little baby habaneros, but they're so slow. I'm hoping to get a couple that I can throw in and make like a hot sauce for my niece, because she loves stuff like that. So I am also going to try to pop one of those out and winter it over in my house, because I think it's a really pretty plant. I don't know, kind of, I guess from here, I don't know. It's okay. But yeah, these guys, like, they're starting to produce so many peppers. Like, you guys seen this from last week? There was nothing, just a bunch of flowers. And there's peppers and peppers and peppers. So I'm hopeful to get enough to harvest, and then for myself, and maybe freeze dry some. And if there is any extra, which I don't think we will, because it's just, I'm only going to get one good flush of a harvest, which I was hoping to have several off of those particular plants, which is more normal for me. I was hoping to sell some, but I don't think that's going to happen. But they're just running out of time. It was 4 degrees this morning, and yeah, I'm not weeding anything. I'm leaving everything as is. I'm like hopeful, just trying to cover at night and hoping I can get these 100 pepper plants through, so that I can get some sort of a production out of them. The only ones that I've been really harvesting are the ones inside of my greenhouse, but these guys I was planning to trellis, and I had all these big plans for this, and there it lays. I haven't done much with this. Next year I have a totally different plan of what I'm doing, so I'm really excited for that, with the tomatoes and whatnot. I won't need the trellising for the tomatoes at all. In fact, I'm going to be overhauling everything out here, because I learned what is working for me and what isn't, and just being more prepared and more educated when it comes to growing in cold weather on such a volume. The dahlias are so pretty. I think this is a Cornell. I can't remember the name. I have to look it up. I can't find the tag. I accidentally picked it up and threw it when we were weeding. The teddy bear sunflowers they're trying to bloom their little heads off, but hopefully they'll have enough time to do what they all want to do here. It'd be really nice to see them. I haven't grown teddy bear sunflowers before, so very excited for that. So these little yellow summer squash, the frost that they got hit with, it really set them into production mode, and I have so much. This is one plant. I just harvested it yesterday or the day before, and it's just like boom, it just keeps producing. So there's a lot. I have a lot going on with this stuff, trying to make things, and yeah, I'm making a lot of sauces lately and hiding pretty much their zucchini and squash in everything I make these days. The dahlias, I got some more of the expensive dahlia tubers so that I could multiply them for next year. So I knew coming into this year I wasn't going to have a lot for sale, but I wanted them to kind of be like potatoes, to multiply, so I had seed tubers for next year. So instead of spending, a ridiculous amount of money on buying them, I wanted to invest in a 2-year system. It was a 2-year investment for these tubers. And I've been trying different herbicides or pesticides on them that are like an organic, natural. And they do great keeping some of the bugs off. But what I've learned is grasshoppers are really drawn to some of these natural things. And you can see the grasshoppers are just every plant that I've sprayed with this stuff here. The grasshoppers really like it even more. Like, they just go after it. They target them. So I don't know what it is. I'm really excited to see some more of this pretty color of the glads come up. There's that, and then there's a really pretty purple starting. So I'll be harvesting some of those. It's been nice to have them. And I really like the way that this actually has turned out to look. I wasn't sure if I liked it too much. Don't mind the weeds. I haven't done any weeding. It's been so busy. But I really like this Super Tunia honey, even though that they have a very distinctive color that's different than what I was expecting. I really like it. I think it looks really cute. So I was happy with it. And I do like these Gara. I think they do pair pretty cutely with, you know, with the clover. And oh look, oh, there was a grasshopper. Their grasshoppers are everywhere, I tell you. So yeah, that's it. These grasses are, you know, next year, this is all going to be out of here. The pool will be gone next year. This is going to be gone next year. We spent too much time, like this is too much maintenance for me. Because every time we have a day off, we want to go boating or riding, horseback riding, stuff like that. You know, we have so many adventures to go on. And so pool maintenance and weeding is not really my thing, and I don't like using chemicals. So we're going to change everything. This is all going to be food production next year. So none of these ornamental grasses will be here. It'll be food production, and they'll be where the pool is sitting. We're definitely going to have more garden boxes and places to grow. I'm gonna probably use more of the grow bags and such to put in this place. So if anyone's in the market for a pool and you're local, just let me know, because we're gonna be taking it down and it could be yours. I was really sad that the grasshoppers decided to like my hydrangeas. Get out of there. Go. Ew. Go on. Creepy crawly. Look at him. He just buries himself right on in there. Like, literally. You're so gross. Go on, little one. Go get ate by chicken. Go on. Get ate by chicken. I'll feed you to the chickens. You know I will. Get off my plant. I can't grab them. Ugh. Go away. So, yeah. They're starting to turn. The hydrangeas are starting to turn their little pink colors. So I'm sad that that's happening, because that means fall is really, really here. And I don't like that. But see, I really like the texture these have. They're super cute in my little flower bed, so I'm enjoying them. They could look messy, I could see that, but I think next year I'm going to work on more flower bed cleanup, since we're going to be having chickens in certain areas, so they won't be scratching. Like, chickens did that. Where else did chickens? Oh, they made a hole there. I had a whole bunch of bulbs. This whole area was all planted with bulbs, and they dug them all up. So yeah, chicken did that. Just lots of things. So basically, oh look, the guineas are out on the pasture. There are so many grasshoppers since they hayed, and they're teaching them. They're getting braver and braver. I love it. It's so cute when they chase those hoppers too. Let's see what they got going on. Look at that cute little family. I really love having these birds. I don't hear them a lot. I know some people say they're really noisy. I think in all of our videos, you hear my roosters crowing a lot more than you hear the guineas. And I find that guineas are much better for pest control. Just look at them out there. They're just so happy to be out and about. These guys, they're great to have running around outside and picking at the bugs and stuff, but they really love my garden stuff, so I have to really babysit them. I'm going to be in the garden today so they can come do whatever destruction they want, stuff like that. So hopefully they'll behave themselves. They're molting, so they're starting to look a little funky, but it's all good. Happy chickens. Are you a happy girl? No chickens in the flowers. Go eat the hoppers. Go on. Go on. Go visit the corn and the potatoes. Go eat the hoppers on the potatoes, please. Do your jobs. If they only could listen. The dahlias are so pretty. I really love them. I've harvested quite a bit off of these guys. And I really like these little candy cane ones. There's two different colors, which surprised me. These ones look like little dahlias. I love them so much. I really am enjoying having these guys here. Super cute. Yeah, zinnias are definitely a favorite of mine, especially these ones. Just so, so, so sweet. Love them. Love them so much. Really nice to have them. So I'll go see what kind of damage these guys are in. I'm gonna get canning today, and thank you for hanging out with me for my garden tour. They're coming to a close here. I'm gonna pick some tomatoes and pick some corn and probably some zucchini. Do some work on that. Just watch these guys so they don't eat any of my plants. And I see there's a purple, or there's a pumpkin that's turned. You see that in there? There's quite a few pumpkins in there, so yeah. They're in the cover crop finding all kinds of bugs in there, which is that's okay. As long as they're not eating my flowers. Well, thanks again. We'll catch you next time.